Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Bernie, brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Well, I'm being a goof today and wearing my vintage Baltimore Bullets NBA warm-up for a reason. Game 6 between Miami and San Antonio was a classic, easily the best contest in an NBA Finals in many, many years. As you probably know, Miami won by 3 in overtime to survive and advance to Game 7, winner take all. There was a lot of yapping about the officiating in the late stages of Game 6. There seems to be a feeling there was some kind of conspiracy theory. The Spurs were cheated because of non-calls on Manu Ginobili's crucial late drive in OT and on Danny Green's missed three-pointer attempt at the buzzer. Well, if you don't mind, a couple responses to that. Number one, NBA refs hiding their whistles at the end of big games has been going on for decades. So if you were shocked and appalled by what you saw late in Game 6, then I'll just go ahead and assume you haven't watched an important NBA game since Bill Bradley retired from the Knicks. Memo: NBA officiating is hopelessly random and that won't change, so get over it. Number two, Ginobili walked before he was fouled, and the officials ate their whistles on that one too. Number three, the Spurs' inbound strategy on that final play was so horrendous, I can't have any sympathy for them. Oh, and number four, the Spurs coughed up Game 6 in one of the greatest yak jobs in NBA Finals history. They absolutely gave this one away by blowing a 5-point lead in the final 28 seconds. They had the championship trophy within reach, but soiled themselves in the final half minute with 2 missed free throws, some horrible possessions, uncharacteristically awful coaching by Greg Popovich. It's a cop-out to give the Spurs a free pass by putting this on the officials. First of all, how could Popovich have future Hall of Fame power forward Tim Duncan on the bench and no rebounder on the floor during Miami's critical possessions at the end of the fourth quarter? The Spurs couldn't come up with the one rebound they needed on those 2 Miami misses from three-point range, and both times the Heat chased the ball down, got the rebound, and made the ensuing threes that sent it to overtime. If the Spurs get one board there, they're celebrating a championship today down on the Riverwalk. Earlier, Popovich also took his foot off the pedal after San Antonio had built a 12-point lead, putting Duncan and point guard Tony Parker on the bench to rest at the same time. That completely unplugged the Spurs offense, giving Miami a chance to come back. And can anyone explain the Spurs' approach in overtime? Please. Parker is a winner and a great point guard, but you can't run the same isolation play with him every single trip down the floor with no plan B. At some point in that OT, don't you have to throw the ball down there low to Duncan one time? Parker made only 6 of 23 shots in the game. Popovich also cost his team by playing the woefully ineffective Ginobili, who's fading badly at the end of his career. Ginobili committed 8 of his team's 13 turnovers, and the Spurs were outscored by 21 points when he was on the floor. In San Antonio's 3 losses in this series, Ginobili is a minus 66, and he shot 31%. And one more thing, how about fouling Ray Allen near the end of regulation instead of letting him get off a clean 3? Popovich is great. It was just a really bad night by one of the best coaches in NBA history. In a few moments, we'll talk about what we expect in Game 7 Thursday in Miami. But first, remember that Papa John's will give you 40% off the regular menu price items the day after the Cardinals win. You just place the order at papajohns.com, enter the promo code CARDSWIN. As a bonus, Papa John's will donate 10% of your order sale price to the Siteman Cancer Center. All right, now, on to Game 7. This was a devastating loss for the Spurs. They must feel like the Cardinals after Game 6 of the '85 World Series, or the Red Sox after Game 6 of the '86 World Series, or the Rangers after Game 6 of the 2011 World Series. What is it with Game 6s anyway? Can the Spurs recover? Well, yes, but only to a point. This is a very proud championship caliber group of players, led by an esteemed coach that's guided the franchise to 4 NBA championships. But Duncan and Ginobili are flat out old, and Parker isn't so young anymore, and the San Antonio team emptied its tank in Game 6. I think the Spurs will come out and put up a hell of a fight, but the old legs will eventually weaken, and that's when Miami will pounce and win its 2nd consecutive NBA title. The Spurs made a fatal mistake Tuesday in Game 6. They had the great LeBron James down. They had him almost defeated, and they let him rise up and lead a memorable comeback. Now that LeBron has survived this one, he will not let the Heat lose Game 7. I can't wait to watch. Hey, thanks to our sponsor, Papa John's Pizza, and please come back here tomorrow for more Breakfast with Bernie on stltoday.com.